Hello everyone. So after a long time, I'm making recording a video. So it's a Phaco in shallow AC. So it's a very informative and educational video for me as a beginner because this video has shown me this case has shown me uh, why not to do stop and chop in each and every cases. You can go why direct chop is very great as a best in these type of cases. So this was a case of shallow AC because of the characteristic of the cataract, which was more towards the entirely. So 1 week prior to the surgery, the patient came with corneal edema with IOP around 40 plus. So I gave anti-glaucoma medication. So in this case, the patient came with around 20 IIP, so I decided to go for case. So the AC was so shallow that it was difficult to insert the instruments in this case, but somehow I inserted the instrument and formed the AC. Now, in fact, on doing the Rexis also, I was getting really uh, problem in inserting the cystitome, but so by some hook and crook method I inserted the cystitome and able to perform the rexis. Now again, due to shallow AC, the visco cannula was getting difficult to get insert, but somehow some visco get inserted. And now time to make the main wound. So I made the main wound little around 90 degree as compared to the side port, so that I won't have problem on manipulation on doing a stop and chop. So the hydro was done, but I haven't seen the fluid wave in this case, so I was suspecting that hydro has done went somehow. So when I inserted a phaco probe, the iris came in the touch, and since the topical phaco, the patient was experiencing pain. So I again insert take it back, fill the uh, AC with visco, and my assisting staff at that time, she raised the bottle height so that the shallowness will be easily overcome. And also my assistant, what he did, he increased the AFR rate, so I won't face problem in stopping job. So as I was doing the first trenching, I was feeling a difficulty on making a trench because more deep it was getting really problem for me for getting in deeper approach. So somehow I did the trenching, but now it was getting unable to do the crack. I was appreciating the crack at this time, but I was not getting able to hold the nucleus because I made me think that the AC was getting very shallow, and so the holding was not proper. So I was feeling little problem on holding on the nucleus. And second also thing, the crack was appreciating by me, but somehow at the uh, at the core the crack was not complete. So yeah, I was so with that respect I was not getting able to hold the nucleus properly. So what I saw that she was getting shallow throughout the surgery, and a crater was forming on, and I thought more manipulation will cause more complications. So what I did, I again inserted visco, and I decided for doing the manual separation. I took the the hook in one side, and the I took the uh, the chopper on the other side, and manually I separated the two halves. And then I thought that further phaco will cause further damage, and so um, I decided to lift one half of the nucleus to the AC, and just vertically half, And also I'm seeing the PPL was also getting small, so was feeling a little difficult. And since it was topical Phaco, so patient was having little, he was appreciating the pain. So I lifted the other half, one half of uh, the nucleus in the AC, recoated the endothelium with visco, and then what I did, I took the dialer on one side and probe on the other side. I holded the dialer from the of the back of the nucleus, and with the probe I was getting able to crack that, emulsify that other half, the first half, and it was getting, thankfully it was getting emulsified uh, very nicely. So keeping in mind endothelium will get compromised, so I was using very less energy, around 30 I was using the energy. And so one half, and so the cataract was those soft, so one half was emulsified. And also I increased my vacuum, I increased the vacuum to 400. So the now finally all the halves were removed. And then I wanted to remove that cortex also, but I uh, stopped my urge and come back. And then during all the manipulation I noticed a big stromal edema occurred at the incision site. So I decided to do as much less manipulation as possible. So now I went for irrigation aspiration. Then I noticed that from some part, one nuclear fragment just came into AC. So again, it can't be aspirated. So again, I have to take back my Phaco probe to emulsify it. Then at a very low energy, at around 10 or something like, around 10 Phaco energy, I inserted a Phaco probe. And on other hand, I took the repositor to support the posterior capsule, and it was easily get emulsified back. And so after emulsifying that, the last part, now I decided to go for the IA. Now in IA, my first target was to remove the subincisional, the cortex. uh, so I first go with the right side, then I remove the left side. And now my visibility in subincisional area was little less, it become little decrease. So more I was taking the subincisional cortex, the issue becomes somehow becomes more shallow. And I was sketching the posterior capsule. So I inserted the repositor to give little press uh, in the posterior capsule to not to, so that the posterior capsule won't damage. So then I thought the entire cortex has been removed somehow. And so I did little polishing also. Now for inserting the, now I inserted the lens. So the lens I've loaded, which was edited in this video. So by wound assistant technique, I inserted the IOL in the back. And again, the trailing haptic was not in the back, so I dialed it. And it does came in the back. So final polishing, final visco wash was done. And I wanted to go into the bag, but then I again stopped since the AC was very shallow. But now I was not having any problem in this case, because since the nucleus was removed, so now the AC was become very deep. But the main issue what happened is that there's too much stromal edema happened. So I was fearing that will there, is there has been any wound burn, but it was not a wound burn, it was just a stromal edema. So Everything was looked clear, and I could close the case with hydration of the side port first, and then dehydrating the main wound, which was already fully edematous, and it was expected the day one post-op the patient was having few edema, and I explained the patient for that, and he was fully understand about it. So after hydrating the ports and everything, uh, the case was looking quite normal, and the patient was having no complaint. And I again checked for the tension of the eyeball, and it was normal. And slowly I removed the speculum to see again if there is a leaking wound was not there, and it was all fine. So thank you.